Mrs. Morris, have the television and radio removed from this room and any cells that might have them.
That's not fair!
If any of you want to be on a charge for insolence, just keep going the way you are. You want privileges, you earn them.
Oh, Mrs. Reynolds. Good of you to call.
I hope we didn't embarrass you.
Of course not. I've learned not to let little things upset me.
Don't change. God, he's changed just about all of us. Oh, bloody hell.
What's the matter, love? Who's he put you in?
Kelly!
If you go near Connors, he'll come down on you just as hard as he does the inmates.
Yes, well, Connors isn't the only one I have to deal with.
Listen, just thought of something. Hey, Mark. Hey. Yeah? Yeah. Just thought of something. What? Yeah, well, this fight you're going to have for the Eagles. Any chance of us being there?
Yeah, mate.
2-1, mate. 2-1. Hey. Well, not if you told us. Fair enough. Take your bloody nowhere, sport. I'm dead bad. Fair enough, but you sure it was the Eagles that did this? Not sure of nothing. Not sure of nothing. Hey, Mel. You heard the man again. Right? Okay, leave it to it. You've been told, have you?
Miss Lexi already. It's really empty here without her.
Well, your new roommate will fill it up again soon enough, and then some.
Oh, I know. Imagine having to share with Lurch. She probably does push-ups every night. I bet she snores.
Well, that's the worst you've got, love. You can be thankful. I'm worried about Lexi.
Kelly can't do anything to her. The Screws would know straight away who it was. I mean, the two of them in there together, who else could it be?
There's plenty she can do to make her life miserable without killing her. And the Screws wouldn't even know it's happening.
What if Lex got herself into trouble?
I think we've done all we can in that department, love. We just got to keep our fingers crossed that young garbage boy's as virile as can be.
I don't mean that sort of trouble. I mean real trouble, like getting herself put into solitary.
Well, it's worth considering, I suppose, but she couldn't stay there forever.
You never know, it might just take a short reprieve to save her life.
Look, the only thing saving her life is Lou thinking that she's pregnant, and we've just got to keep her thinking that way. It's the only way out.
There is another idea I had.
What's that?
No, it doesn't matter.
No, come on, out with it. Anything's worth thinking about.
No, it's too dangerous. Maybe as an absolute last resort.
Oh, come on,
Gone real quiet in here all of a sudden.
Oh, we weren't talking about you, dear. We were talking about something important.
Oh, yeah? Like trying to save your lagging mate's life? Well, you got Buckley's. She's as good as dead.
Even Lou wouldn't be that stupid.
Huh. By the time she's finished with her, Patterson will be ready to string herself up just to get out of her own misery. And I'll be the one to lend her the rope. Ha! Oh, bloody hell!
You want to be more careful, dear. That's government property.
Oh, very bloody funny. You shut up or I'll thump both of yous. I'll fix a bitch for doing this.
Oh, you can hardly blame Lexi for your weighing 3 times as much as she does.
Bull! I'm not stupid. She rigged it.
Oh, I don't think Lexi would do a thing like that. Do you, Lou?
Oh, no, definitely not.
I mean, he's turning the place into a time bomb. He just won't listen.
Oh, you have to, love. You have to listen real careful.
Yeah.
That's when you know when they're going to go off, when they stop ticking.
When what stopped ticking?
The time bombs.
Oh, Etty, it's nearly time for the news. Aren't you going to turn the set on?
No, hasn't been any good news on lately.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you'd be interested in those Japanese soldiers they found up in Queensland.
Japs? When?
Yesterday, I think. They didn't know the war was over.
Oh, yes, some real estate developer saw them and said they were last seen heading this way.
Well, look, you girls talk amongst yourselves, eh? I want to watch the news.
Yes, well, Whatever problems he's causing, I'm sure the department will sort it out.
Yes, well, I hope he gets the message quick smart. I mean, it's all very well for the Lou Kellys of this world to cave into the hardline tactics, but not people like Rita Connors. Oh, talking of Connors, I've got that address you wanted, you know, the bikey preacher. Good.
Hey, that's them. Short, the pale complexion.
Mentioning her brother really touched a nerve. She gave me the address without a qualm.
Well, that's encouraging. And if he does agree to help, at least I might have some chance of getting through to a brother.
But a club member
I know him. He's a friend of Bongo's.
The Eagles. Police warned members of the Conquerors against reprisals, but there are fears that the incident could lead to a fresh outbreak of gang warfare.
I talked today with Slasher, a member of the Conquerors. In your opinion, was the fire accidental?
No bloody way. Does that look like an accident to you?
Well, can you comment on the police's warning against reprisals?
Yeah, they've had their say. Now we're going to have ours.
Thank you. Now it's back to you in the main news desk, Bob.
Well, I'm being reminded that I tipped...
I think I better be going. I've got a very busy day tomorrow.
Won't you stay for coffee?
No, thanks. Thanks for dinner, Etty. It was lovely. Good night.
Good night.
Night, Meg.
Oh, what's the matter with her?
I don't know.
Must be them Japs. Does funny things to people. Does he go and put blankets all over the windows?
Oh, God, Lurch. Alice? Alice!
What the hell's going on?
Can't sleep.
What?
He was snoring.
What about it?
Well, it's really bad for you, didn't you know? It means all your air passages are blocked and there's not enough oxygen getting to your brain.
Stuff that! I was having this fantastic dream about me and the new handyman, and we were just getting to the good bit.
Oh, sorry.
Be bloody sorry if you wake me up again. You'd be better off to worry about how your mate Patterson's doing with Kelly. Lexi? Lexi, you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
That bitch tried anything?
No. But stop worrying and go to sleep.
Well, if she does, yell for a screw. Kick up a fuss and get put into the pound. That way you get a night's sleep.
Put a plug in it, lard bucket. Some of us here are trying to sleep. Quiet, all of you. You thought of counting sheep? You come near me and I'll smash your head in.
Well, you can't stay awake all night.
Yeah, well, neither can you.
Oh, I don't have to. I can pick my own time. Who is it?
Me.
Oh. Come in. Bit late to be visiting, isn't it?
Last time I was here, Joan, you said something about making those bikies pay.
Did I?
Yes. Now, what exactly did you mean?
Look, you're not making much sense. What
Where have you been tonight?
Nowhere. I've just been cleaning
Did you
up.
see the late news?
No. Would you tell me what this is all about?
Someone set fire to a building, and the building belonged to the bikies.
And you think it was me?
Wasn't it?
Oh, come on. I've got more to do with my time than going around burning garages.
I didn't say it was a garage.
Yeah, all right. I did see the news. And frankly, if someone gave those mongrels a bit of what they deserve, then good. But it wasn't me. If you want to think otherwise, that's up to you.
All right, Joan, you have it your own way. But if I were you, I'd hope Connors and her friends don't put two and two together, because it won't just be your house they'll tear apart next time. You did, you little bitch. How does it feel? Well, come on, speak up. I can't hear you. I'd stay all right to see this around you. Huh? Huh?
She'll be all right, love.
I told her to get herself into solitary if there's any trouble.
Yeah, what if she didn't have a chance?
Well, morning, girls. Everyone sleep well?
I didn't, you stupid back. And I got woke up by me cellmate.
What's the matter, love? What'd she do to you?
Oh, nothing. I just didn't get much sleep, that's all.
Hey, your neck's all red.
So it's red. The pearls were too tight.
Oh,
That last resort you mentioned. I think you ought to tell me about it now.
yeah.
Come on, enough talking. Keep moving.
I'll tell you at breakfast, okay?
Lex is supposed to be in Coventry and they're talking to her. We're going to give him a thumping or what?
Yeah. I'll take Wyndham and you can have Egbert.
Beauty. Little bitch woke me up out of this fantastic dream last night. And I couldn't get back to it. Tried real hard, too.
Hardly need ask her what the dream was about.
I'm not going to tell you either.
Any bets on Steve Ryan?
You're real smart, aren't you?
Look, do you really think it's worth the effort of bashing Egbert and Wyndham?
We've got to teach him a lesson.
But we've got bigger things to worry about with this new governor. Why not just send them to Coventry and forget about them?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Saves us trouble, eh?
Oh, wouldn't be no trouble. We just bash him.
You telling me what to do, stupid?
No.
Well, then make yourself useful and go and spread the word. Patterson, Wyndham and Egbert. From now on, no one talks to any of them.
Good morning.
Oh, hello. Oh, that the papers?
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, the new governor wanted to see you as soon as you got in.
All right.
Got a real treat in store for you. A right little dynamo, our Governor Moran.
So I gather.
Where he thinks the manpower's coming from for all this tighter security. He wants regular dog patrols, searches, checks of the work areas. As if we haven't got enough to do without all that.
Yeah, I can see you're flat out. Frankly, from what I've heard, he sounds exactly the sort of governor this place needs.
I knew you'd say that. Hello, I know him. That's Connor's boyfriend, isn't it?
Yeah, so it is.
Come.
Mr. Moran, I'm Joan Ferguson. You asked to see me.
Yes, come in, come in. Take a seat.
Thank you.
Unfortunate incident last night.
Yes.
You weren't hurt?
No, just some damaged furniture and personal effects.
Seems this attack on you may have some involvement from Connors.
Oh, I'm sure of it. Proving it's another thing.
Strong case for compensation. You put in an application?
Well, no, I hadn't had much time to think about that.
Do it. I'll make sure it's processed quickly.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. I understand you've made a few changes.
If you mean in the way things are run around here, yes, I have. Is that a problem for you?
Oh, certainly not. If what I hear is true, then I'm in full agreement.
Nice to know someone is.
Well, they're a spineless bunch around here. They go to water as soon as you show them who's boss.
The officers or the prisoners?
Take your pick. They all need smartening up.
I take it you're no great admirer of the Reynolds approach.
Want me to be honest?
Yes.
I have been trying for years to bring in the sort of measures that you've brought in. Now, I suppose Reynolds meant well, but the fact is she's a hopeless idealist, and the prisoners took advantage of it. Oh, there was no discipline, security was sloppy, but... Well, then, obviously, you've seen all that for yourself.
Must have been frustrating for you.
As long as she was governor, she was entitled to run things the way she saw fit, whether I agree with her or not. Let's just say that I'm glad you're here. Do you mind if I say something else?
Not at all.
Well, I feel I must warn you, there is another area where you might meet some resistance. Morris.
Meg Morris.
Another idealist. Hopelessly soft on the prisoners. Of course, I'm not saying that she might use her position as deputy to obstruct your policies.
I see.
Well, it's just a thought that it seems a shame you don't have a deputy whose thinking is more in line with your own.
Does that mean you'd be interested in the position?
Well, certainly, if it was available. Well, I have the experience, the qualifications.
You've also got quite a few black marks on your record. Involvement with contraband, suspected of bashing prisoners.
True, it was never proved.
No doubt why the file said suspected. Still, I'm glad we had this little chat. It's interesting to know you have aspirations for the deputyship, and even higher.
I make no apologies for the way I treat the women. It's the only way to get respect from them. Look, the way Reynolds was going...
Forget Reynolds. Let's talk about now. Discipline and authority will be maintained and within the rules. One more incident involving you, and you're out. One other thing. Stay away from solitary so long as Connors is in there.
Is that all?
Understood?
Yes, Governor. Now, will that be all?
That's all.
I'm lined up to go see him this morning. Governor to top dog.
I'm going to let him know the way things are. What if he tells you to get lost? You want to try. What if he does? Well, then we'll hit him with a hunger strike, same as we did Reynolds. You think it'll work? Well, it worked on her, didn't it? Look, all you got to do is call hunger strike, and they'll give you anything you want. You're scared of the bad publicity. Yeah, but what if he lets us starve? He can't. It's illegal. Now shut up and let me do the thinking, will you?
With those three, it's a joke. What is? Patterson's supposed to be in Coventry. So the others, Lou said. Yeah, a lot of good that does. It just means she's got company now and they can talk to their heart's content. Bitches. I don't know why Lou just didn't give them all a good thumping. That's what they need.
Yeah, I reckon. Especially must have some reason, but...
I just wish she was a bit stronger about things like this.
Doesn't look like Nancy's coming.
No, I didn't think she would. She was throwing up before. Must have picked up a wild or something.
We should get her in here to breathe on Kelly.
Well, this is about as private as we can get. What do you got in mind, Julie?
Well, it's not exactly my idea. But if it works, Lexi won't have any more worries with Kelly.
Yeah? We're going to put ground glass on her cornflakes instead of sugar, eh?
Lexi, this is very serious. If you don't want to listen to
She does.
Yeah, I do. What is it?
You get out of here.
Out of here? What do you mean?
Not out of the room, out of the prison. You escape.
That's good. I thought it was going to be something difficult.
Oh, shut up, Lexi. You got something particular in mind?
Yep. It's all planned. It doesn't need any preparation because it's already been done by somebody else.
Who?
Nora. It's the same way she got out. What do you think?
Boy, you certainly know how to drop a bombshell, don't you?
Hang on. You mean Nora told you all this in the note?
Yeah.
The whole escape plan?
Yeah. She told me to destroy it, but, you know, I wanted something to remember her by. The first bit was harmless enough, so I kept that.
Yeah, but, love, just because somebody got out doesn't mean that somebody else can get out the same way. It all depends how good your luck is.
Luck had nothing to do with it. It was all planning. See, she got hold of a pair of bolt cutters. She went out through the air conditioning system, in through the laundry, out through the kitchen.
You mean she cut through all those security grills?
She must have. She's gone.
Hey, but how'd you get past Mervyn?
You just wait till he finishes work.
Yeah, but then they locked the door.
Not for a few minutes, and Merv's got to go and get a screw to do that.
A few minutes, eh?
You can do it. Look, you just get outside, you wait till it's dark, and you go over the fence.
Huh. That all, eh?
What do you think?
Still risky.
I hope you're not tired, Patterson. I've got big plans for you tonight.
Lexi, it's a chance. Think about it. If you decide to do it, you know I'll help you any way I can.
Oh, wouldn't you know it? First morning with the new governor and my car conks out.
He noticed it too. He wanted to know where you were.
Oh, I'll bet he did. I'm going to go and say I'm sorry. I suppose.
Will you take his mail? Save me going.
Sure. Morning.
Is it?
Joan, I hope you thought about what I said last night.
Wish you'd get it through your head that I had nothing to do with that fire.
Well, just don't give Connors any reason to think you had.
Connors can think what she likes. I don't care one way or another.
It really is a bit much having to run in and apologise like a naughty schoolgirl just for being a few minutes late.
Yeah, well, she'll have to get used to it, won't she? Obviously, that's the way things are going to have to be around here now that that jumped-up little Hitler's in charge.
Well, that's a change of heart. I thought you were all for him.
Well, think again.
Kelly wants to see me this morning. What can you tell me about her I don't already know?
She's vicious, devious, and totally amoral. Unfortunately, the women seem to believe she's responsible for Anne's leaving, and that's strengthened her position.
Can hardly wait. The hell's this? We catch the bitches, you give them early parole, or we let them escape. So we'll do your job for you. I'm moving in on Nora Flynn. You'll be getting her back, and this time she won't escape again. Signed, Justice. You get many of these?
No.
City postmark, 2 days old. He says, we get the bitches. Sounds like a cop with a chip on his shoulder.
Do you think we ought to hand it over to the police?
No, let's wait and see if we get any more.
I suppose. I don't like this bit. This time she won't be escaping again. Let's hope it's just a crank.
Reckon with a bit of luck, I might run into the new handyman. So don't anyone worry if I'm late back, eh?
She thinks she's kidding. One look at her and he'll take out danger money if he doesn't have a heart attack first.
I'm going to give her such a smack in the mouth.
Oh, forget it. I'll pay her back for you tonight.
I'm going to do it now.
I said she's mine. Let her talk while she
Here,
can.
what's going on?
Oh, nothing.
Governor's ready to see you.
Yeah, I'm ready to see him too.
You're supposed to be working, ladies. What you want to go on like that in front of Lurch? You're just going to make things worse for yourself.
Things can't get any worse.
Well, what do you think of Julie's idea?
I don't know. I just don't see it being worth it. They'll catch me sooner or later and I'll end up back in with extra time.
Maybe not, if you had help outside.
Now, what help? I ain't got no friends. If I went to see my mum, she'd probably turn me in as soon as look at me.
You've got friends. You just haven't met them yet, that's all.
What do you mean?
Well, I can give you a name. A friend of mine. She's looking after my place while I'm away. You could hide out with her for a few weeks, at least until they let me out of here.
Geez, must have pretty good friends, you know, if they're prepared to take that sort of risk for someone they don't even know.
She will. She'll do anything for me, just as she knows I'd do the same for her. And then when I'm out of here, I can make arrangements for you to leave the country.
Out of the country?
Well, it's the only way you'll really be safe. Go overseas, start a new life.
How am I going to do that? I don't have enough dough. Anyway, don't even know if I want to. Never been overseas in my life.
Well, you'll have to make up your own mind about that. But the money's no problem. I can help you there.
What do you want to do that for after all the hard times I've given you?
Well, just say I'm a sucker for a hard luck story. OK? Look on it as a loan, an investment in your future. And then when you're really set up and made your first million, you can pay me back.
You serious?
I'm serious. And I can do it. I've got the contacts.
I suppose really it's my only chance.
Really could be struck by lightning, but I wouldn't count on it.
Just let me think about it a bit longer, eh? I reckon you're right, though. I mean, I can't get into any more trouble out there than I am in here. Couldn't make a clean break. Didn't catch an aura, did they?
Back on. Cutting.
Thank you, Mrs. Morris. Now, Kelly, don't even think of it. You stand when you talk to me unless I tell you otherwise.
Hang on. I'm not some no-account con you're talking to. I'm the top dog. All those women out there, they do what I tell them.
So they tell me.
Right. Now, first off, this business of having cell searches with us in the rec room.
I don't care what sort of setup you had before, but from now on, the women will do what I tell them, and so will you.
Oh, I'm real scared. We got rights, you know.
Isn't it funny? The ones who scream loudest about rights are the ones who couldn't give a damn about anybody else's. From now on, you and the women will go by the rules, and so will I. But if anybody starts breaking them, or even bending them, then we'll go by my rules, and that won't make you very happy, I can promise you that.
You do anything illegal, we'll take you straight to the department.
All my rules are in the book. All of them. But it just so happens I know the book a lot better than you do. Now, if all the prisoners want to let somebody like you do their thinking for them, that's their problem. But one step out of line and I'll have the lot of you.
Oh, you talk real tough, don't you? Well, how would you like it if the whole block went out on a hunger strike? Second day on the job, eh? Department would love that, wouldn't they? Front page of all the papers, all the TV news.
I'm disappointed in you, Kelly. You've already tried that.
Yeah, and it worked.
Once. Start another hunger strike, and you'd better be ready to starve.
Yeah? Well, we'll see who gives in first, eh?
Try me.
All right. I've made up my mind. I'll do it.
Good girl. It really is the only way.
Yeah, when do you go? Well, if I'm going to get away from Kelly, it's now or never. I'll go before lock-up tonight.
Yeah, well, who does he reckon he is, God?
Oh, keep it up, Kelly. One more and you're on a charge.
Yeah, well, I'm top dog. He's got to talk to me.
That's funny. I thought he had.
Oh, Mrs. Morris, could I speak to you for a moment?
Wait down by the security gate.
Yeah.
Front gate called. They found a body down by the fence. It's Nora Flynn.
Lynn.
Will I tell the governor or...?
No, I'll tell him. You take care of Kelly and don't let her know what's happened. We don't want it all over the prison.
Right.
What are you doing?
Fixing the hinge. Hi, my name's Steve.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, we met yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
Seems like they keep you busy.
Yeah. They call it slave labour.
You really feel that way?
Yeah? What way?
Oh, that you're being exploited by the prison authorities.
Oh, I don't know. I suppose.
Oh, what about the other women? Do they...
Well, what about them? I don't know. They probably haven't even thought about it. Most of them are pretty thick. Hey, you going to be around here for a while?
Hope so. It's a good job, meeting some interesting people.
Yeah? Jeez, I haven't even started to get interested yet.
Get here.
Hang on, we're talking.
I don't give a stuff if you're singing the nun's chorus. Now get here.
Jeez, gotta go.
Yeah, seems that way.
Yeah, well, see you again, eh?
Hope so.
Yeah, right.
What'd you do that for? It's just like last night. We just got to the good bit and you had to bugger it up.
Yeah, well, your sex life is going to have to wait. We've got a few problems. He's called me on the hunger strike.
Who has?
Who do you think? That bastard in the governor's office. He reckons the department says he can let us starve.
Can they do that?
How do I bloody know? But if I call a hunger strike and he lets us starve, I'm not going to be too bloody popular, am I?
I reckon.
But I'm not going to back down, that's for sure.
Well, we better come up with another idea. Jeez, maybe I can think of something.
Yeah, well, I can't wait that long. I'll ask Eve later, see what she thinks.
So what do you always have to ask her for?
Because she's got brains.
Our letter writer meant what he said.
He must have tracked her down before he wrote the letter, then deliberately waited long enough for us to get it before killing her. How could anyone be so cold-bloodedly calculating?
Oh, he's more than that. The things that were done to Flynn, we're dealing with a total psycho. If the police don't get him, God help whoever he goes after next.
Neighbourhood like this, there could be a sniper at every window. Right. Coast is clear. Company, advance.
Etty, wait a minute. Come back here.
What's the matter?
Look, Etty, I think the best thing is if I go in there and you wait outside in the car.
I'll do no such thing.
Don't you think it's a bad strategy if we both go in there? If it is a trap and they get both of us, there'll be no one out here to go for reinforcements.
Oh, yeah, hadn't thought of that.
If I get into any trouble, I'll scream, and then you can go for help. Does that make sense?
I suppose so. Look, why don't I go in there and you stay out here?
I'm the one who wants to talk to him, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I still don't like the idea of you going in there.
Be all right, really, as long as I know you're outside and can go for help.
Oh, yeah. Just like when our boys are on patrol. Someone has to guard the flank.
That's right. I know I can depend on you, Etty.
Watch where you're walking. There could be landmines.
I'll be careful.
Mrs. Reynolds, come on in.
Thank you. I hope I haven't come at an inconvenient time. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stare. It's just that it's not quite what I was expecting.
Yeah, I suppose it doesn't quite fit the popular idea of a bikies lair, but I'll bet your home doesn't have guard towers and steel doors on all the rooms.
No, we're taken.
Well, sit down. Tell me what Rita's been up to now. Would you like a cup of coffee?
No, please, don't let me take your time. Actually, it's not Rita, it's something else. I've left the prison service, as a matter of fact.
For good, or is it just a temporary thing?
Oh, it's a bit early to tell just yet.
But I do owe you an apology for not giving you a lift the other day when you broke down by the roadside. My only excuse is that I was under a lot of pressure.
Oh, I wasn't harbouring any lifelong grudge over it, and you did send help.
T.S. Eliot.
Oh, yes. Didn't you know every bikie preacher is expected to know the love song of jail from Prufrock by heart? It's the first thing they ask you in the job interviews.
You're sending me up.
Not at all. No, if I'm sending anyone up, it's myself. But not all bikies are out-and-out barbarians, and even the ones that are respect my right to my own lifestyle.
Now you're really making me feel like an intruder.
Why is that?
Well, I've come for some professional advice. I should have arranged to meet you somewhere instead of just barging into your home.
Not at all. I'm pleased to see someone who can appreciate the place. Most of my friends don't share my interest in things cultural. What's this professional advice you're after?
McCormick. Solicitor's here to see you.
Oh. Oh, how are you, love?
Oh, bearing up. I think if I can eat some lunch, I'll feel better.
That's an idea. You make sure you eat a big lunch and a big tea. You've got to be joking. I'm so uptight I couldn't eat a thing. Well, you don't know how long it's going to be before you get in touch with Jessie's friend, Mabel.
Hey, I think we better talk about this later on. Too many flapping ears around here.
Don't you see the man's bluffing?
How do you know? You weren't there.
All the same he is. Do you think he wants it on his record that the first thing he did was make a block of women starve themselves to death?
Well, he reckons the department's backing him.
That's only because they don't think we'll go ahead with it.
I suppose you're so smart, you know what the department's thinking.
Well, I could make a fairly intelligent guess. Look, all we have to do is go without food for a couple of days. Make sure they hear about it on the outside. Those human right clowns will be screaming their heads off. They'll make headlines in all the papers. They can't afford that. They'll be down here prepared to give us anything we want to call it off. We just have to show them we're prepared to starve ourselves to death if we have to.
Oh, I'm bloody not.
Well, neither am I. Nobody wants to, but we have to make them think that we will. Make our bluff stronger than their bluff.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, but what if they're not bluffing? We might all end up dead.
Well, at least we won't have to listen to your moaning all the time. I reckon you're right.
We can't afford to waste any time. You have to go in there and tell them we're off food as of now. No lunch, not another crumb until the governor caves in.
Oh, go to hell. Can't we wait till after lunch? I'm bloody starving.
Well, it won't do you no harm, will it? Instead of being fat and ugly, you'll be skinny and ugly. Right, listen up, you lot. I've got an announcement. As of now, we're all back on the hunger strike. Oh. Shut up! I don't want no arguments. This head screw reckons he can walk all over us. Well, we're going to show him that he can't. And if I see anyone put a single crumb in their mouth, they'll be eating soup through a straw for the next 6 months. You all clear on that?
I reckon I picked the right time to leave, huh? Yeah, I think I might go with you.
Oh, just one more thing. I'd rather you didn't say anything about the police activity out the front. We don't want the women to know just yet.
Understood. What exactly happened, anyway?
A body was found there. We don't know the details yet.
Dear, you wonder what's happening in the world. So, it keeps me in work, I suppose.
Yes. Well, here we are.
All right, thanks. Well, hello. How are you today?
Oh, I'm feeling better now.
Glad to hear it. I'm afraid our case has had a setback.
Well, what's happened?
Well, it's your son. I'm sure he was only trying to help, but of course he's made things worse.
What's he done?
He went to the police to confess that he was the one who killed your husband.
Oh, Peter, no. Well, he's lying. He's just trying to help me.
Fortunately, that was obvious to everyone concerned. Nonetheless, it has damaged our case.
Well, how?
Well, now the prosecution can say, and no doubt will, that your own son had so little confidence in our plea of manslaughter that he felt he needed to take such an extreme course of action.
Well, what can I do?
Well, talk to him. Tell him in future, stay right out of it. I believe we've a hard enough job on our hands without his making it worse.
The fact is they seem to be genuinely fond of each other. If I'm going to make any headway with Roach, I have to give Bongo on side. Well, at least a little bit less offside than he is at the moment.
Yeah, well, I wish you good luck.
Thanks. I was hoping for something a bit more concrete.
Yes. He's a tough little son of a bitch, as you've no doubt noticed. I mean, really tough. A lot of people are fooled by the way he looks.
Don't worry. I know from experience not to judge a book by its cover.
Underneath it all, he's a decent sort of kid, or at least he could be if he wasn't so heavily in with Slasher, the gang.
You tried telling him that?
No way. Secret of surviving in my line of work is not to give advice until it's asked for. To be honest, I've been pinning my hopes on Roach a bit.
What do you mean?
Well, from your point of view, Bongo's a bad influence on Roach, but I look at it the other way around. She's a good influence on him.
Oh, yes?
He loves her, she loves him, but she's not particularly into the bike scene, so the more time he spends with her, the less he spends with the gang.
You don't really think he'd give them up for her,
I
do
wouldn't
you?
want him to. Like, they're his friends, and let's face it, we all need friends. But I would like to see him cutting down on some of the more antisocial gigs, particularly now with the war shaping up between the Conquerors and the Eagles.
So basically what you're saying is leave them alone and hope for the best?
Not entirely. Just leave it with me, and if I think of something, I'll get back to you.
I'd appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure. One thing, I'd say you've already won a few points for not getting hysterical the other day. Maybe we can build on that if we go about it the right way.
You might be right. I'll give it some thought myself. Well, it's been interesting.
Sure has.
Company! Jack!
Eddie, look out, it's me.
Oh, I was coming to get you away from them bikey devils.
Yes, I'm sorry. I should have let you know everything was all right. We had such an interesting talk. I'm afraid I rather lost track of time.
I'll say you did. You've been there for over a half an hour. God, anything could have happened.
I did tell you there was nothing to worry about. I must say, he really was rather more agreeable than I expected. As shows. We shouldn't make snap judgments.
Excuse me, Mrs. Morris. There's something I think Nancy ought to know.
Well, can't you tell her in the dining room?
Well, no, that's just it. If she goes in there and has anything to eat, she'll be in trouble with the other women. They're on hunger strike.
Oh, no. It's not going to do them any good. Can't they see that?
Well, most of them didn't like the idea, but they didn't have any choice.
Can't Kelly see there's just no way the governor's going to back down to her on this one?
You better tell her that. But I'm thinking Nancy's got so much on her plate just now, she doesn't want to get offside with the other women.
Yes, true enough. Well, as long as you know what your rights are. I mean, the food is in the dining room and you're entitled to go and eat it if you want to. But Wyndham's right. The other women will make things difficult for you. Of course, if you ask for it, we can give you as much protection as we can. But I think you know the difficulties we face in a situation like this.
Yes, I'm starting to.
Does the governor know yet?
Oh, I don't know.
Better go and see if he does.
I never imagined things would be this bad. People in charge don't seem to care what happens.
Well, I mean, Mrs. Morris is quite right. There's not much they can do. While the women still go along with the no-lagging rule and let people like Lou Kelly...
What the hell do you think you're doing? She's in Coventry, and you know what that means? That means I don't catch you talking to her.
Who do you think you are? Telling people when they can and can't eat and who they can and can't talk to? Who do you think you are?
I'm top dog. That's who I am. And I think it's about time you had a lesson in just what that means.
She didn't mean it. She's upset. She's got a lot on her mind.
I don't care what she's got. No one talks to me like that.
And there's no one in the dining room. They're all back in their cells.
All right. If that's the way they want it, we'll give them 24 hours to make them really hungry, and then at lunch tomorrow the meal will be served in their cells. Let's see how many of them hold out when Kelly and her goons aren't there looking over their shoulders. Only the officers will know who ate and who didn't.
What about those sharing? A lot of them will be scared their cellmates will dob them in.
All the better.
I don't quite see how.
Divide and rule. They'll all be at each other's throats, and Kelly's control over them will be right out the window. Oldest rule in the book.
You make it sound like war.
Isn't it?
What do you want? Well, I told you. You need a lesson in how to show your top dog a bit of respect.
Oh, no.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to be real civilised about it. Aren't we, Lurch? Yeah. You see, we know that you wouldn't want us to leave any marks. Screws might see them and they'd start asking a whole lot of stupid questions. So you got my word. When we finished, no one will ever know we laid a finger on you.
No, please.
Oh!
Don't worry about a thing. I'll make sure Mabel knows you're coming.
Be a hell of a thing if I forgot the address.
Well, for God's sake, don't write it down.
Of course not.
Just behave yourself and do exactly as Mabel tells you.
Forget that far.
You're not going to go and turn chicken on us, are you?
Don't start, Chook.
No, I don't think you should do it unless you're absolutely sure of the plan.
Look, that's not what I'm saying. I just wish it was time to go now. It's the waiting that's difficult, eh?
Well, that should teach the bitch a little respect.
Yeah, she didn't put up much of a fight, but...
Yeah, a lot of use you were. What's the matter with you?
I told you, me back's bad. It's Patterson's fault. She fixed me bed on purpose so I'd hurt myself.
Yeah, well, it's her health she ought to be worried about, not yours.
When are you going to do something about it, Lou? Some of the girls reckon you're all mouth.
Yeah? Well, then you can tell them it's all happening tonight. I've got a few surprises for that little bitch after lock-up. She's going to be sorry she ever opened her mouth.
Yeah, Lou. I'll tell him. Oh.
Come in.
Just wanted to know if there's any news about Flynn's murder.
Nothing, and if there's anything in tomorrow's newspaper, have it censored.
Right.
There's no way the women could find out. They've got no TV, no radio, and I've stopped visiting rights until this hunger strike thing is settled. Have I forgotten anything?
Nothing. They're completely cut off from the outside world.
Good. Things are tense enough without them finding out about Flynn, and there's no reason why they should know.
Reckon I'll see you sometime, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when, but...
I'm going to miss you, Legs.
Yeah, well, been a good mate. I'm sorry if I've been a bit rotten sometimes.
A bit? Don't worry about it. Good luck, eh?
Yeah, you too.
Come on, you better get a move on, Lex.
Yeah, and thanks to you too, Jess, eh?
Come on, give us a hug. And no more cracks or I'll thump you.
You're all right, Jess. Bit pushy, but all right.
Now, one last time. Who are you going to for help?
Mabel Jones.
Yeah. What address?
26 Thorncraft Road.
So long as you remember that, nothing can go wrong. Oh, yeah. Come on, let's go. Oh, don't forget the torch.
Going somewhere?
Nowhere in particular. What's it to you?
26 Thornycraft Road. I should be able to remember that. And Mabel, was it?
How long have you been there?
Long enough.
So what are you going to do about it, lag?
Keep it. Wouldn't do to be overheard, would it? Be a shame if someone got in the way of this little plan of yours. And let's face it, there are plenty here who'd love to.
Yeah, you included, eh?
Oh, I met Lou. I have no reason to stop you.
Yeah, except by getting in good with the governor by lagging.
Yeah, the moment I walk through that door, you'll blow the whistle on me.
You're wrong. I want you to get away.
I'll pull the other one.
Think about it. It's in all our interest to make things as tough for Moran as possible. A successful escape would be perfect.
How do we know we can trust you?
You don't have any choice. If you don't, who's going to kill you? You're wasting valuable time.
Go on. You go with her. I'm staying here with Eve, just to make sure.
Just a minute.
Coventry or no Coventry, you're staying right here.
Come on.
I hope she gets away. I really do.
If she doesn't, I'll kill her.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain